Over the past 12 months, Anena has been engaging the residents of Pitt Meadows on what is important to them. How blessed the city of Pitt Meadows will be when Anena is elected for the next 4 years to help guide the future of the residents and all that goes on here. It gives me great pleasure, and I'm pleased to introduce you to the next Pitt Meadows City Councilor, Anena Simpson.
Thank you, Erin, for that introduction. I have to say that some of the characteristics that you mentioned are a result of knowing you and collaborating with you. So thank you for your friendship and all that you've contributed to my life. Well, here we are. I have been excitedly anticipating this night. I didn't realize it would be the warmest night of the year, practically, but nevertheless, we're here, and thank you for coming out. I feel like I've asked you almost to trudge through snow or something. I mean, it's just that daunting, the weather, and thank you for being willing to come out in the heat, and just for joining us today in beautiful Pitt Meadows. We live in such a beautiful place. What can be better than British Columbia, and here in this spot in Pitt Meadows? It's such a fantastic community. We have it all here, really. We've got the mountains, the meadows, the rivers, the streams, the farmland, the industry, amazing recreation. And most importantly, we have thousands of homes filled with hardworking and caring individuals here in Pitt Meadows. When we first came out to look at houses, after our very first time looking at houses in Pitt Meadows, we put an offer in right away. And during that, the anxious time when I was wondering, is our offer going to be accepted or not, I turned to the Bible, as is my custom, and I happened to be reading Psalm 23 at that time, and I was reading it from a different version. And in verse 2 it said this: He lets me rest in green meadows. Green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. I took that as a sign. And I said to the family, our offer is going to be accepted. We're going to get the house, and we're moving to Pitt Meadows. And of course, that's exactly what happened. 2 weeks after we arrived, it happened to be Pitt Meadows Day. And so that Saturday morning, we wandered up to Hammond Road, and sure enough, a parade had been orchestrated to celebrate our arrival in Pitt Meadows. So that was just terrific, and we loved the parade so much that the most recent Pitt Meadows days, our family got to enjoy it from a different angle, and we participated as the Simpsons, and our family just filled out so nicely. The characters, Homer and Lisa, led the way, and in the back were Bart and Flanders and Mr. Burns dancing, and of course Marge was driving, yours truly, cranking up the party tunes. So we had such a good time. It was such a laugh. It was great to see so many smiling faces looking back at us that day, all celebrating Pitt Meadows. At least I think that's why they were smiling. They might have been laughing at us, in all honesty, but we were all celebrating Pitt Meadows. And I think what we celebrate most about Pitt Meadows is it's captured in the city theme. Pitt Meadows, the natural place. It's the natural beauty of Pitt Meadows that's why we love it here. That's why we live here. We love that friendly small town feeling. These are things that we want to remain the same. Pitt Meadows has another theme that is found in its coat of arms that says prosperity through endeavor. And that's another aspect of Pitt Meadows' life. And in the past few decades, there has been so much progress made. There's been so many developments, and they've benefited the citizens. They've benefited neighboring communities. They've brought prosperity. But they've also brought concern among many for how is all this progress and prosperity going to affect our peace? And I believe that we can have a balance of peace and prosperity. We can have a peaceful and prosperous Pitt Meadows. Over the past 12 months, I've been listening very carefully to what the residents are saying. And what I've heard first and foremost is that what they want is consultation. They want a city council that consults them. They want to be heard and valued. Next is the transportation issues. Big time. So many of our residents have to leave our community and commute to work, and every day they're caught in that traffic jam on Harris and Lougheed, right here, we're right here. And this has to change. This is robbing people of time with their friends and their family, and transportation issues have to be addressed, and they have to change. We have to make sure that Pitt Meadows, as it grows, it is growing and it will grow, that it grows smartly. And we want a new official city plan to reflect these important priorities and preserve the small town feel as well of Pitt Meadows. So partnerships will be very important as we enter this process, but more importantly is the views of the people of Pitt Meadows. That must come first. The allegiance of elected officials ought to be to their constituents. In my college days, as a young, idealistic political science student, I was elected as president of the Student Society, and then later to the National Executive on the Canadian Federation of Students. And it was then that I learned that my constituents' concerns must take precedence over all other loyalties and influences and interests. At that time, it was my dream, actually, to one day run for office, to enter the political scene. But I traveled down a different path, and those political ambitions were left behind. Well, that is until recently. The moment I heard the suggestion that I run for office, it resonated. It surprised me, but it resonated. I asked Dave, I said, Dave, what do you think? Should we do this? And he said, you can almost guess his answer, 100% do it. Those are his words, 100% do it. It's what you were made to do. And so we determined that it finally is the right time for me to enter the political realm. That long forgotten dream has been reignited. And so today, I'm announcing my intention to run for Pitt Meadows City Council. What I have to offer is the ability to listen and the ability to lead. I have a reputation of being a good listener. I believe listening well is a cornerstone of good leadership. And from an early age, I have been told that I'm a leader. Of course, this led to culpability as a child, leading my friends into all sorts of escapades. I thought it was a good idea to show my friends how to climb into the giant dryers at the laundromat and go for a spin. When their parents found out, they didn't agree. But for better or for worse, leadership has been evident throughout my life. My leadership style includes communication, consultation, and collaboration. This approach has helped me to attract partners, energize teams, and accomplish goals. For instance, and many of you will remember this, at first I was the lone visionary for the idea of a concert that would host an apology from the church to First Nations. And what followed after being that lone visionary was an incredible journey with a strong team of partners, a host of volunteers, and hundreds of participants in what became the Rising Eagle Reconciliation Concert. Whether it's organizing a community event like that, or leading my congregation, or managing our small business, responsive, respectful leadership has always brought success. These qualities and experiences have prepared me for such a time as this, a time to serve Pitt Meadows as a city councillor. My commitment to this community began in prayer. At the beginning of this year, I founded the Pitt Meadows Prayer Group, an interdenominational group that is praying for our community. And as I have done in prayer, I will continue to do, and that is offer my voice to the people of Pitt Meadows. I intend to run this campaign with integrity and respect. I congratulate tonight each candidate, and I look forward to engaging with them. I hope that we will engage in a respectful manner and that we will remember who we are, friends and neighbors who are working for the common good of our community. As we begin this campaign season, I hope that we will raise the level of discourse to a higher standard. This isn't about party politics. This is about passion for Pitt Meadows. I've chosen not to run this campaign with others. I don't want to be tied to anyone's ideology. I am running to represent you, my Pitt Meadows neighbors. We live in a terrific community. Together we can build a peaceful and prosperous Pitt Meadows. Let's make it the very best that it can be. I want to invite our good friend Greg Moore.
Let's give it up for Anena again. So there was one part of the story that Aaron and Anena missed out when we had approached Anena and Dave to run for council. We asked them first to move to Port Coquitlam so that she could run in Port Coquitlam, but obviously her passion is here in Pitt Meadows and we couldn't convince her to do that. And she is going to make a phenomenal city councillor. And I have a little bit of experience of knowing what makes a good and bad politician. And Anena's passion for her community, her passion for reaching out and engaging others, is exactly what a city councillor should do. And so you're going to be a phenomenal city councillor.